321 presents. 321 presents.
Hello, and take this. It's dangerous to go alone. I am your old man in the cave this week, Nick. Along with me, our adventurous hero in a green tunic and hat, Zach.
Hello.
I've been doing a lot of Zelda research for 26 for 26 this week, and that's what popped into head first.
Interesting.
Yeah. Check out that episode. It should be out by the time you're listening to this. The Legend of Zelda 40th year.
Old man.
Absolutely. This week on 321 Presents, it's a lot of sports news, as far as I can tell. Did you bring anything media-related this week?
I have some media-related stuff we can talk about.
Sock it to me before we, because I've got a lot of stuff in the sports category, so we'll just roll that into the end.
Awesome. Sounds good. In media-related news, as everyone knows, Valentine's Day was last week, I do believe, as we're recording this, if I remember correctly.
Indeed.
And none other than Netflix has blessed us with a new episode new season of Love is Blind, and we know how well that turned out, especially here in the Denver area.
We set a record for no couples.
0 couples. Spoilers if you haven't watched that one. The Denver area was not very successful, and they said, haha, we'll fix that. We're going to Ohio, the great Midwest.
I mean, Denver in particular does have a pretty bad rap when it comes to the dating scene, whether that be because we are such a weird mix of like transfer people from around the country, so there's no like common ground, or just a lot of weird dudes out there. It kind of seems like there's a lot of weird dudes out there.
It does seem a little bit like that, especially as we start to dive inside of who gets to be put on these dating shows. And unfortunately, for a lot of them, the pretty face does not always equate to what's going on inside. It's either real weird, real dumb, or real problematic.
Yeah, there's the one part of like the producers specifically pick people who are a little off kilter and will make for good television over
you need the good television.
Yeah, over like regular people who will just make it like, it'll be just like, oh, those people are actually just hitting it off and having a conversation about their niche interest or whatever. That's kind of boring after 10 seconds.
From what I've heard this season in Ohio, there is a couple who just kind of hit it off and it's normal, and apparently does not get as much screen time. Haven't made it quite that far yet. I'm a session behind, a few episodes behind from the release schedule. But they are just kind of a normal couple, and they're like, this is boring. Give me the tea over here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things where you can't be crazy all the time. There's a pacing thing. You've got to level it out with some normality before you get back into, now wait, what did they just say? What did they do? Hang on, one second.
Yeah, let me reevaluate here. And sometimes maybe they just sprinkle in the crazy with the normal, where it's like, that's
what it used to be. It was just little shots of spice every now and then, and now it's like you gotta be packing spice every. Well, spice per minute ratio.
The spice per minute ratio is still high, but some people just act like it's just a normal. They say some just outlandish things that to them sound perfectly normal, and they present it in a perfectly normal fashion. It's like, well,
it's maybe one of those signs that our society has grown too big for what our brains can comprehend now, and there's just too many edge cases of insanity.
Very much so.
That's my take on it anyway. But this is coming from 2 folks who have been in relationships, thankfully, for a little while now, where we have not had to be out there in the dating scene.
The streets ain't safe.
It seems bad out there. I don't know. Ohio, though, is definitely one of those things where, like, well, we tried the bigger cities.
Ohio is like a safe-ish place, right? Because you're very...
Yeah, it's why they used to say, like, Ohio determined the election results and stuff, because that's your real cross-section of the heart of America there.
It's the heart of America, but it's like, if people are going to go and be in this relationship thing and they say they're going to marry you, you're going to make it there. That's just what you do.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Ohio?
Have not.
I've only been the one time on our family road trip out to Canton back when I was 16, so that was... 2006 or something?
Yeah, it would have been 2005.
For Elway's year, yeah. And I don't know. I mean, that's not a very good analysis of it, but it definitely is one of those places that has a vibe. And it is very white bread.
It's Ohio.
Yeah.
There's a reason the kids say it's Ohio these days. It's become a meme.
Yep, that's for sure. I mean, what's Ohio's biggest cultural claim to fame these days? LeBron James, kind of.
Yeah,
I can't think of
unfortunately,
much else
even
past that.
he's moved out quite a.
Yeah,
he's
he
moved
doesn't
out
hang
twice
out
now.
there. For sure. I mean, he remembers his roots, and he's done a lot for the community over there. We all know that, but yeah, he doesn't.
Actually, a lot of so LeBron and Steph Curry both from Ohio.
Okay.
Born in Akron.
I would have pegged Steph as a Cali boy, but that checks out. Interesting. We'll have to keep us posted on how the rest of the season goes. You know, that's not exactly my flavor of trash.
Nope, it is. I have decided to dive into the trash because someone around here's got to if we're going to cover the media.
I mean, we've got people in different trash. There's plenty of trash piles to go around, and you're all, we all, you know, I'm not above my own, but it's a different flavor.
Yeah, different flavor, for sure. Other media news is, of course, we had a new 26 for 26 come out. By the time you're listening to this, if you have not yet, it's big news. The Universal's celebrating their 90th birthday or something like that. Insane.
95 years of the Dracula and therefore the monster universe there from the Universal Studios.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about it a little bit briefly on the last episode as well. Kind of gave us some little sneak peeks, but now that we've had some time to listen, reflect, and you've gone through and done the research and the edit and everything like that, how we feel about monster movies 95 years later? It feels like maybe a little less than that, but big time monster movies.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's very interesting to learn how early on in the history of movie making that they kind of realized were like creatures and like weird supernatural stuff gets people's butts in the seats, and we can, if we put most of the budget into the makeup department, we can get away with kind of not a whole lot of background stuff going on because people will just be freaked out by the monster. And how readily that formula got picked up and run with, because it kind of is still the formula we use today.
Yeah, it's still used in a lot of movies today for both good and bad.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, like nothing quite as iconic. What is our, I mean, my era has the Scream mask guy from the 90s from Scream.
Ghostface.
Thank you. And I mean, what's his face from Friday the 13th?
Jason.
Yeah. You can see how good my horror.
I'm glad you tapped
tapped
into the culture.
Absolutely. And then Chucky maybe is in there, but that's just kind of a doll. But that is a lot of people's fears, so that works, I guess.
The ones nowadays are getting weirder and
I was gonna say the modern
stranger.
ones, they're taking a lot of swings, but not a whole lot is sticking. There's the dude in like the biker outfit with the weird mask now.
Well, the ones today are either very like extraterrestrial, like it's more space alien sort of, I don't know what this sort of thing is type of vibe. We're getting less and less monster movies, or it's like this is a reality thing. Now this is just a man murdering, or potentially even a monkey that's murdering people.
Sometimes that, yeah. I mean, yeah, the Jordan Peele franchise of movies has kind of been good because it is very like introspective. It's all the humans are the horror of it all, except for the cloud one in Nope. And then it was a big cloud thing.
It's an extraterrestrial.
That I guess counts.
The unexplainable.
Yeah, that's a better way to put the unknown.
Yeah,
as the broader category there.
Kind of group those together
for sure. Extraterrestrial just kind of implies specifically an alien thing, and like that's a different.
It's extra terrestrial.
Sure. And there's even a new Dracula take this year that I'm kind of curious to go see now. Because I did sit through the original. It's not a very long movie, and like
hour and a half,
hour 10 minutes. You get 70 minutes. Yeah,
get in and out of there. People are sitting in suits and with their hats on,
and have been scared senseless this entire time because of Bela Lugosi.
Very scary.
I mean, it's an effective performance. I would not say the Renfield character, I think, has a very fun performance to go from like. His intro is as very buttoned up and like regular businessman, and then he immediately gets Dracula crazy, and then is unhinged the rest of the movie. That seems like a fun one to do.
He has his own movie now. In fact, he's gotten so
Indeed,
big.
he's such a pivotal character to the story that we get to see a take from his point of view. I think is what that one's about.
Yeah.
So yeah, the story is just such fertile ground for different takes on it. The Bela Lugosi one stuck real hard in the cultural memory, though, for sure. And it is good though to see that like now 100 years on, we have a whole lot of other interpretations of it too that I think also bring a lot of interesting things to there's a lot of ways you can come at the horror stories and their metaphors for like how we deal with our own stuff.
Agreed. One of my favorites, of course, is the more Castlevania Dracula, where he just wanted to do good things, and then they were like,
where he's like got a pretty good reason to be mad at the world.
Yeah, I like that version of Dracula the best.
There's some ones where he's like, yeah, very justified. I think that's what the new one is doing too.
There's one that happened a couple years ago that's essentially the Castlevania Dracula story, just in a.
Is that the one with what's his name as Van Helsing with Christoph Waltz?
Potentially.
Or is he in the new one?
It's not the one you're thinking of. I like Dracula Untold is what the movie is called.
Okay.
Also, it's interesting that they timed it so well that they do release Dracula much later.
I'm sure someone at the studio was like, "Hey guys, if we, there's a little anniversary we could hit on." But I kind of surprised, like by and large, it was not super like acknowledged.
Because we're in February. It's not spooky time yet.
It did land on Valentine's Day as well, and that one certainly gets the more regular coverage. But yeah, a very fun one to dig into, and then, of course, led to all of the further ones, the Wolfman, your Frankensteins, That was another fun big discovery was the big gap between how long it took them to get to Creature of the Black Lagoon. Because like you kind of think they all came out really close together.
Creature of the Black Lagoon is a little later than everything.
It was early 50s.
Yeah.
52.
Which is later than the other two for sure. Which is strange to think about how long we've been doing movies and media sort of deals.
Yeah, but a very fun kind of parallel to what the Marvel Cinematic Universe turned out to be. The Marvel version, far more successful from a box office point of view, but what are you going to do? The second swing tends to be more successful.
Fair enough.
And speaking of 26 for 26, like I alluded to, we've got the Legend of Zelda one coming out this week, and then it'll be time next weekend for the big Pokemon anniversary.
I assume you saw the announcement that we're finally getting Leaf Green and Fire Red on Switch for $20 a piece. No updates or nothing like that.
Oh boy. If they're announcing that one this week, that means we're getting more news next week on Friday.
I know so far we've seen some of the cards get released, which they're cool. Nothing that I saw I love, because mostly they're all the starters that everyone likes, and
a little too mainstream.
Yeah, I'm an Evolutions kind of guy myself.
So we see that the cards have come out with stuff. There have been a lot of other brands who are licensing stuff for the 30th anniversary. Lego, we've
seen a lot of Lego releases.
Official Pokemon Lego kits, which have
I like the Mega Bloks ones better personally, but we had this discussion.
The Mega Bloks one have still kind of came out looking like the better ones here. I think that's the big stuff we have so far, and then we'll probably know a lot more with the Pokemon Day announcements.
I mean, we are just about due for a new.
We're definitely getting at least the announcement of the new generation, if not that it will be this year.
What's crazy to me is you kind of already have like what I want. My perfect Pokemon game is one. I'm a man who wants a game, and that's got to last me about 1,000 hours, because that's the type of gamer I am. Let me go through this full story. It's got to give me all 300 hours of the story.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to start me on Kanto. Give me the original 151. Once I beat those guys, send me on to the next island, and just let me keep going, and let me keep my party and my team, and let's keep exploring.
That would be very fun to have the full Poke World opened up to being travel, and like kind of do the Ash Ketchum story.
Absolutely. I think that'd be an awesome thing to do.
That would be very fun. and
I think there's,
rewarding.
especially now that we've had a number of variety of games now that's come out, and I think we can figure out some way to do some balancing of all the things, because you can't, if you take your Charizard onto the next island, of course he's gonna wreck everything, especially early on.
Well, and that's been a thing that they've kind of figured out from a while ago of how to have the gym leaders essentially have multiple teams that they can roll out for the strength of their opponent. And yeah, that seems like a pretty easy system to implement, at least. The biggest thing I could see would just be like the raw size of it. The level of stylization, like they'd have to go to like Wind Waker Zelda level of cell shaded simplicity to get down to get all of that data in, I imagine. If you wanted to keep like the full richness of every region, that would be quite the technical pull.
You think?
I think so, if they didn't chop it up into like, or else, because already you're going to be talking about like some wild loading times into these different things.
You're not wrong there. Would you want something that's like 8-bit, sort of like going back to our old Pokemon games? I think that's pretty manageable because they have.
Oh, if you built it on like, if
most
you
of those
like
where you just get to expand and explore that way, are you cool with that, like a 2.5D sort of thing style, or do you want something in our new?
I mean, I was thinking like 3DS level when they got to, I think, those last couple on that gen when it was like basically 3D, with the 2D sprites still kind of walking around in the world there. That was fun. I do also like the new HD 2D style.
The 2.5D.
That Dragon Quest and Octopath Traveler do.
Yeah, a couple others have kind of figured it out.
Oh yeah, like Triangle Strategy is not in that same family. Is
In
not in the Octopath.
Yeah.
Their branding looks so similar. They used like the same font.
They did.
But yes, that is also a good one that I would think would make it a little bit more manageable. But yeah, that seems maybe more like the realm of the Pokemon MMORPG that everyone has kind of envisioned.
I don't want that
at some point, but that would also have its own complications.
Like
it certainly couldn't be like a WoW thing where you have hundreds of players running around in the same location all at once.
What if they released Pokemon the game, and then they go in sort of like season 1 is we release to you all of Kanto. That's what we have thus far. And they keep working. Season 2, here you go. Here's your Johto, baby. And then you keep going on. What would you pay for that? What would you give for this?
That's kind of buck wild, because if I say it out loud, it will probably come true. $9.99. I wish. No, that's unfeasible at that price point, I would say.
Would you pay if they said, "All right, you can do this. We're going to give you all the regions to unlock and go explore, but they're going to take some time. Please let us cook on this."
That's kind of what I was thinking would be the realistic version of that. You wouldn't get it all at once. You'd get it as like, maybe here's gens 1 through 3 in pack 1. 6 months from now, we'll have pack 2 with gens 4 through 6, etc., etc. And then, yeah, next year, look out for 7, 8, 9.
Would you pay $150?
That's realistically probably the baseline of what that experience would cost. Yeah, I could imagine it being 50, if not $60 per pack. Yeah, for sure. And would I do it? Yeah, probably. Would I feel great about it? Not until I started playing.
Until you forgot all about the woes.
And then it's probably worth it, as long as I get my Crobat. And
I mean, as
long as Zubat is in the game, we're good.
What if it's like, here's Zubat, you can go get that Zubat, but he's not going to know until you get that to that Johto Island. They don't know nothing about Crobats over here.
Nah, because it's all about how friendly they are with you.
Can you imagine?
Because that would be the other wild thing, is like retuning. Certain generations did not have certain
typing and stuff like that.
Yeah, types unlocked, things of that nature. The notion that Kanto is this weird back island now that only has like
the basics.
Not just like this weird little, isolated, not very biodiverse, like it really implies in the lore of things that the Kanto region was by far the most devastated by the Pokemon War that we do know exists,
Probably.
and why there are so many fatherless children running around at age 11.
It's time to go explore, little Ash.
So yeah, I don't know. It would be fun to have a more cohesive view of the Poke world
That's all I want.
with all of like the stuff we've known. The other fun feature that has been dreamed of way back since, even when they started before Gen 2 came out, was the ability to like choose any Pokemon to start with.
I don't mind that. I think like there have only been like a couple exceptions where you don't get one of the starters, which is usually end up with a Pikachu or an Eevee, which are like kind of like they're not starters, but they're starter adjacent.
Well, I mean, like,
But I know what you mean. Like you go out and you can get yourself a Mankey to start with.
yeah, if I want to start with Zubat so I can max his friendship as early as possible, why not?
Yeah.
Why do I gotta be beholden to these professors and their 3 choices?
Because they give you the special ones.
The 3 special ones are all good and well, but they don't always hit.
Which I'm confused because how special are they? If I've seen a Squirtle Island, why does mine not have sunglasses?
Yeah, because he's not a deputized firefighter.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've seen other Charizards and Charmeleons and things like that. I know they exist.
It is, yeah, one of the inconsistencies of the lore that these are somehow super rare and hard to find, but also we see them in thriving communities multiple times.
Like I just saw one walk by. What?
Yeah, but you couldn't catch it, could you?
I did not. I did not know I could catch it.
Well, now you do.
I haven't done that.
It's rare.
I haven't done that tutorial yet.
The other weird thing is that knowing if the Pokemon like egg breeding is a thing, why are any Pokemon is scarce at all, other than the ones that are uneggable. Which there's a whole lot of weird things in the Pokeverse about like the digital Pokemon and the alien Pokemon and all that good stuff.
Yeah, they got to
The
get
time and space bending, reality warping ones.
You got to get. You understand why the Pokemon War is so devastating. One of our regions is still living in the 1800s,
and one of them is just a cow.
Yeah, that. Don't look at that Pokédex.
The notion of the normal type as a whole thing, where it's just like these are basically just regular animals, but they are Pokemon instead. The regular animals still do exist in this world, but there are also Pokemon versions too.
What kind of type is your Pokemon? Normal?
Cool.
What do you mean is just normal? He's just a normal Pokemon.
It's just a little bear I keep in my pocket.
What
and when I hang out with him long enough, he'll turn into a big 7-foot bear, and it'll be great.
It's just normal, man.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Fantastic. Any other media news we need to cover this week?
None that I had in my agenda.
Fantastic. Well, then let's hop on into that big wide world of sports. We had the new format All-Star game for the NBA and got a lot of rave reviews from what I saw.
Yeah, they've been trying to figure out a way to make it more interesting because, God, that All-Star game has been awful. Last year, they've been trying a couple different formats. They did one a couple years ago that they transitioned over to this new format last year, and everyone seemed to like it. Like it's a good way to be and have a good competitive game.
It's the hockey all-star model of like the mini tournament, essentially.
Yeah. And everyone seems to like that, enjoy that, and it brings out some level of competition between the guys that there was not before.
Yeah, the guys know it's like a 1 quarter of hustle, and then I get to sit down and have 1 quarter at least of break. Maybe I don't even play again today.
Who knows?
Yeah. It definitely seemed to strike a much better balance of competitive basketball that was entertaining through most of because the games were pretty close up until the very last one, the championship, quote unquote.
Yeah, because at that point you're just kind of, for most of these dudes, it's like a vacation. You're just kind of
It's like who showed up for game 2.
Yeah,
and yeah, I didn't tune in for the live version, but it did. Like highlights were much better this year than in years past.
It's 100% more easily clippable because we are only playing quarter, maybe a half of basketball to sort of end up. They're basically doing an unrivaled format for the most part, except 5-on-5. So
yeah, and we know that's a successful format.
People like it.
Which, speaking of, that 1v1 tournament went down as well over the weekend, and our winner with $200,000 on the line was Chelsea Gray.
Chelsea Gray took down Alicia Gray. Oh, no. Yeah. Was that? Yeah, that was the final.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea Gray versus Alicia Gray in the final, but Chelsea had to take down Kelsey Plum, and then I forget who was on the other side of the bracket that I was not paying attention to.
Yeah, I know she also went through Paige Beckers at one point. That got a little bit of a highlight clip. I could have sworn it was one of the Grays last year that took it home, but apparently Nafisa won it last year.
Nafisa won it last year because
she was hooping. She was on a tear. That is always great little rewatch to catch that whole thing, because
I'm very much waiting for the NBA to take out the dunk contest that is just absolute garbage and just replace it with a 1v1 tournament. And then I think you can invite some of the dudes who maybe aren't all-stars that you could also give a nod to, some of your snubs perhaps, and you get to have a cool little all-star moment.
Yeah, for sure. They will probably also need to attach a worthwhile cash prize to it.
Yeah, especially for the young dudes, you can make a decent amount of money.
Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, it's definitely a great way to showcase some talent and versatility from players who don't normally get that 1v1 spotlight.
Yeah.
Very fun format there. Unrivaled is closing in on the end of their season as well. Let's take a quick look at the playoff picture there. It is the Laces have clinched, the Phantom have clinched, and the Mist have clinched. And then the hunt for, how many teams do we take? Just the top 4?
I think we're top 6 this year because we added 2 more.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, but I could be wrong.
Well, unfortunately, the Lunar Owls without Nafisa are pretty close to being eliminated. They are tied with the 7th place Hive at 3-8. So it's just it kind of looks like we're locked in for the most part, unless Vinyl really stumbles down the home stretch here. Their 4-7 should still be good enough to get them that 6th spot.
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, all the teams at the top have been playing very, very well, and like we talked about, they kind of had a big shuffle, very similar to the PWHL, where a lot of people are all over the place, brought in some new faces to give some teams a much-needed facelift that were struggling last year, so kind of feels like the league's flipped a little bit on top of its head.
Indeed. With Lunar Owls being about to be eliminated versus being the far and away 1 seed.
They've already clinched before the playoff or basically the All-Star break.
Point, yeah. And then with that season coming to an end, I saw a little news thing this week that Stewie signed a contract for a Euro League to go play over there, which kind of signals that we're not planning on doing a WNBA season anytime soon.
So there's been no news, which is not good news. I know they've been having meetings. They were supposed to have a meeting last week or the week before. I can't remember which Stewie and Kelsey Plum and I think Nafisa are all down in Miami, but they got snowed out because they couldn't get into New York.
Oh, boy.
So, and that's where the meeting was taking place. But there were a few other people who went down and sat with the commissioner.
And they couldn't do it on a Zoom call?
Who knows? But it doesn't seem like anyone's on agreement as to who's doing what, because from my understanding is they're having issues getting everything aligned because they're telling the players that the league is costing too much money, but they're telling everyone who's investing that this is a great business opportunity to make money, and somewhere that the two don't align.
Exactly. I did see, I think, something about a counter proposal that is from the league that is making some concessions in their previous stance in terms of revenue share and the cap on like max contracts and stuff, and bringing that up. But from the sounds of it, it's one of those things where like their first offer is not going to be their best offer, and the second offer is also not going to be their best offer.
No, they were pretty far apart. From what I saw, the players, I think what I saw reported is they wanted a cap at $9 million, like for I think that the highest paid or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the league said we were looking more closer to like 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
And then for revenue shares, the league was like, we'll give you guys 15. And the players like, for that first year, we want 25.
Yeah.
Which kind of big numbers to be apart. The the highest paid one kind of doesn't really. I mean, millions of dollars, sure, whatever. That one's not as far as the revenue share.
Yeah, and then the reason you want to stretch the top end of your cap is to bring the floor up with it theoretically. And that's why league wide they will want that highest possible number for that. And then the revenue share thing does seem like there is going to have to be a point where the league reconciles with its two positions on how much money it's making.
Yeah,
and find a reasonable slice of the pie to give to the players. But and that does. The winds do not look like that's moving quickly or...
No, like we've talked about, there's lots of options from what I've heard that they... I know Stewie signed the Euro deal, but there potentially might be an option there to run back the Unrivaled League again.
Yeah, they might do a little off-season and then back for...
Yeah, Athletes Unlimited, I'm sure, was more than willing to do the same thing as well, as long as the pros are there. There are plenty of options for women pro players these days that will be more... better for their pockets.
The better contracts, better facilities, better working conditions all around. It's hard to maybe the league doesn't understand just what a good position the players are in currently.
Yeah.
Potentially. Very good. Any other basketball news we need to cover?
Yeah. So in the NBA, we've kind of talked about it. There's been some problems with, how do you say the word tanking?
Sure.
There are teams who've already been fined. The Utah Jazz got fined because they've sat some of their star players and newly acquired players for a full fourth quarter, which the game was not allowed. Allegedly, the coach said one of the players was on a minute restriction and the other guys knew, can't really expect me to play them. But they did end up getting fined. I think it was like $500,000 for not being good to the sport, essentially.
Interesting.
So Commissioner Adam Silver has come around and told the teams that we are going to do something a little bit different next year because this is unacceptable as just competitors and not good for the sport overall.
Bad for the product of televised sport when no one's buying tickets to these games or tuning into them.
Yeah, not good for us when you want to suck, because when you want to suck, no one wants to see you suck.
Yep.
Sucking's not good. Well, unless you're so bad that you have to watch. But you have to reach a certain
Not
level
everyone
there.
can be the Rockies.
Yeah, exactly. So here's what they had to, or at least some concepts that he's come up with to discourage tanking. The first thing is first rounds right now can only be protected top 3 or top 10. Now he's expanding that to being top 4 or top 14, which is basically a lottery pick. They're going to freeze the lottery odds at the trade deadline or maybe just a little bit later. They haven't figured out quite that yet.
That's an interesting one.
Yep. And then teams are not going to be allowed top 4 consecutive picks if they had bottom 3 finishes consecutive years. So you can't. The Rockies rule, essentially. can't do that. You got to figure out a way to.
You got to get good in with those 3 picks.
Yeah, or come on,
or get out.
Yeah, you did. We've given you enough opportunities. Someone else's turn. You're just sucking here.
Yep.
Teams cannot pick top 4 if making the conference finals, which I think makes sense a little bit.
Sure.
Because now it's like
there's some interesting things about if you had a pick from a trade or something.
Yeah, but there are some issues there, but that's fine. If you're willing to give up your pick to do so and you get someone else's pick, that's on them.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Lottery odds allocated are going to be based on a 2-year record now.
Ooh.
Which I find pretty interesting.
All of the lottery-based ones where there's already a lot of conspiracy theories over how the leagues handle these random lottery drawings and how fair they are seem very suspect.
I see that tinfoil cap on. Take that off. That's not in my NBA.
Okay.
No, nothing.
I mean, NHL has had its accusations too.
Nothing has ever been wrong with the lottery. It's never rigged or anything like that.
Yeah, I see them pull the balls out of the little jumpy machine.
Exactly. Continuing on with lottery is extended to play-in teams now as well because you've got to do something if that team is still sucking on the 4th year and they end up in the lottery again.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or at least top 4. They don't get top 4, but you can be 5. You can be 5 there.
That's still pretty good.
Not bad. And the last one, the concept is flattening the odds on all the lottery teams so that it's a little bit more even.
Yeah, so less reward for being the worst overall, essentially.
Correct.
That's not a bad idea, I guess, that to make it just like once you're at a certain point, you are in the basement and you'll have whatever odds to get out of it, or first one to pick. That's, yeah, I could see that one working. That one seems the most feasible. Some of the other ones definitely sound like they will be hard fought.
It does not sound well. I assume they're going to vote on this, but it doesn't sound like some of these rules are going to have to go intact. And anyone who's really outside the lottery, I mean, it's better for them to take away some of these lottery odds. Gives you a better chance of potentially snagging someone you didn't have the opportunity to snag.
Yeah, if the idea is more talent distribution, that is going to have that effect for sure.
For sure. So I don't know which way it's going to go on. Or they could take our suggestion and let's bring in some relegation, baby.
Relegation leagues would solve a lot of these issues.
I'm telling you.
But cowards in the U.S., the billionaires won't have their pride and ego.
If your team is sucking, you deserve to get kicked out of the club. Like, you don't deserve to be in the top 30. Bring in whoever else. Bring in the Idaho Golden or whatever the Nuggets affiliated team are.
For sure. Speaking of affiliate teams, and a little quick transition over to baseball, the Detroit Tigers just unveiled the identity for, I forget what city they're from, but their new minor league affiliate is the Kitties, and it's a very cute tiger cat logo, and I think their merch is going to sell very well, aka I'm probably going to get one of the hats.
Hey, they know what they're doing. Like I said, the minor league teams have it figured out.
Yes, for sure. I would definitely love to open the door to a wild branded AAA team to come and take the Rockies spot any day of the week. Although we've got some new management.
The Flagship City Kitties.
Flagship City Kitties.
And
he's just a little guy. He's a little baseball guy in a hat. It's great. Look him up. Actually, I'll probably put him on the cover art, honestly.
We'll have that for you. He is adorable. He's an angry, adorable kitty.
It's great. And then the other bit of baseball news, I don't know if you remember the story you were following about Tony Clark, the MLBPA acting director who was under federal investigation.
Yep.
That was not enough for him to step down from the position. But what did get him to step down earlier this week was that people found out he was sleeping with his sister-in-law.
Who happened to be working for the MLB, if I remember correctly, which is...
For the PA, so she was a direct employee.
She was not a direct employee. She was working so that the reason
is it was a cross pollination.
Yeah,
okay.
It's an interest thing. He's working
a
for
full
the NFLPA.
Romeo and Juliet.
She was working for the MLB, and that's a no-go.
With your in-law.
Yeah, someone was saying that he was playing. He was someone called in a pinch hitter.
Well, that was a very funny turn in that case. I thought
insane.
And that was the only little detour we needed to take into baseball town because we're still in the off season and in the very little brief window of no baseball.
No, I'm a Kitties fan now.
Okay, fantastic. We'll get a couple of hats then. And then I guess the only other thing to cover is the big hockey news because we are about to end our Winter Olympics. In fact, by the time you're listening to this, the games will have officially closed. And we have already finished the women's hockey tournament in a thrilling overtime game. Team USA secures their third gold medal in the Winter Olympics in hockey over Team Canada in a thrilling overtime finish. And team captain Hillary Knight set the record for most goals and most points scored by a USA hockey player. 15 goals, and I think she's at like 34 points or something. With the clutch late, I think there was 2 minutes on the clock when she scored in the third period to send us to OT. And also got engaged while at these games out in Milan to fellow U.S. Olympian and speed skater Brittany Bow.
Good for them. Nothing but wins all around.
A huge win for Hillary Knight, Captain America, and the women's USA hockey team. A tragic and bitter defeat for the Team Canada. Probably Marie-Philippe Poulin's last ride, and she just could not come up clutch in this one.
Canada's having a little bit of a rough go.
Canada is having a bit of a rough go. Before we cover the men's tournament, did you see the Canadian curling team and their kerfuffle this past week?
I know they were getting a little excited. I don't know if it was with an American or what about.
It was, I think, a matchup against Team Sweden, and the Swedes very casually and sort of backhandedly were like, yeah, well, we don't touch the stones after we throw them because that's just like a big...
That's a no-no.
It's a no-no. It's not like a tactical thing, really. It's just kind of frowned upon. And the Canadians started cursing out the Swedes and denying the allegations heartily. And then the video replay showed they're poking those stones.
Might be poking the stones.
Which, again, it's just a major faux pas in the gentleman's sport of curling.
Something about not throwing stones at glass houses and things like that.
Indeed. So yeah, the Canadians not having the best go of these games.
Their whole Olympics have been a kind of a disaster since the last Summer Olympics that we had, with all the soccer drones that they've done. Even before, I think even a few years before that, as we were going into the Summer Olympics, it's been not super great over in Canada. Very un-Canadian-like, if I say so myself.
Their national sports organizations do seem to be a bit of a mess currently, and we might be seeing the ramifications of that on the world stage. Speaking of which, we had our semifinals games in the men's tournament as of recording today, here on Friday. So we do know that our Sunday gold medal game will be Team Canada versus Team USA. Surprise, surprise.
Shocking.
No one was able to pull off an upset, although the Finns and the Swedes were the last ones to take a crack at it.
They tried.
Or no, it was the Slovakians who Team USA absolutely destroyed today because they beat the Swedes. And yeah, Team USA got through no problem. I think they won 5-2 was the final, and the Slovakian 2 came late in the third. Not much of a contest there. Finland versus Canada, though, was quite the experience, and that one nearly went to overtime until, on the power play, the Nate Dogg himself.
He doesn't know how to run a power play. I've seen it.
Oh, no. Our boys, of the teams that have sent players to the Olympics, Avs players have contributed 16 goals to their teams. No other team has more than 8. Our boys be clicking, and they all scored power play goals. All 8 of them.
They're using them up all right now. So
now the hope is that they're bringing back notes from all of their teams
on how to run a power play.
Yeah, hopefully. But yes, Team Canada winning in the final minutes of regulation with a 3-2 victory to avoid OT in that one and send them to the gold medals. The Finns nearly able to get back to the gold medal game. They were actually the defending world champions from last year.
I finish.
And had just gotten propelled into that matchup against Canada with an OT goal from Arturi Lehkonen.
Lucky.
Yeah, he only knows how to score clutch goals.
That's what he does.
Absolutely. So yeah, that was, I believe, the big Olympics news. A quick check in on our medal table. The U.S. has snuck in to second place, I believe. Norway continues to lead our table. 17 golds, 10 silver, 10 bronze, 37 total medals. Team USA up to 29. Team Italy still a strong showing with 27 in third place. And then the Netherlands with a solid 18. And Team Germany pulling up the 5 spot. Out of curiosity, ouch. Team Canada not even in the top 10.
Not a good time.
17 total medals. That's still nothing to sneeze at, though.
Not enough, though.
Since I was also saying, I've been following the feel-good stories. We've got some unexpected countries on the medal table as well. Brazil with a gold medal in alpine skiing.
They got slopes over there.
Kazakhstan, a gold medal in figure skating.
They're disciplined enough.
And Team Georgia with a silver medal in figure skating. Estonia has a medal. They got a silver in freestyle skiing. And Team Belize with a bronze in short track speed skating. Good for them. We also like to see the little guys take home a little W. Very good. Well, since you were so kind as to prepare multiple games for me to enjoy last week, I thought I would have to return the favor, and I've put together something that is. So what I have acquired here is a collection of basketball quotes.
Okay.
So we'll see how well read you are in the words of the basketball players and coaches. I tried to filter these into ones that I know who said them, so that should give you...
That should help me a lot.
So I will give you the quote. We'll see if you can tell me who said the quote. And I've got some good ones. Let's see. We'll start with something a little on the easy side here. They say that nobody is perfect. Then they tell you practice makes perfect. I wish they'd make up their minds. Do you know who said that one?
That's some sort of funny guy. This sounds like something like a Charles Barkley quote of almost.
Oh, definitely keep him in mind. A little older though.
Older than Chuck.
Yeah.
How old we talking about here?
Definitely like an era before.
Interesting. So this has to be someone from like the 70s.
Yeah.
Huh. Who would have said this?
One of the more media savvy, I would say.
I wouldn't say it's not a Magic or a Larry quote.
No, not them.
More media savvy from that time. Wow, why am I just drawing a blank?
I'll go ahead and give this. Maybe was not as easy as I thought. That was Wilt the Stilt.
Oh, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. I forgot about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about how quotable he actually was.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's try this one on for size. I don't know how tall I am or how much I weigh because I don't want anybody to know my identity. I'm like a superhero. Call me basketball man.
What in the wildness? That's insane. I know Kevin Durant tries to hide his height from people, but I don't think he said that one.
This is definitely someone Kevin Hart. No, you said Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Still Kevin Durant adjacent.
Who in the wildness?
You definitely know this guy.
I for sure know this. This has to be someone so outlandish that I have to know them.
Player.
He's an active player?
Active player.
Wow. Is this a Giannis quote?
It is not Giannis.
Giannis has some wild stuff, but this one is out of pocket a little bit. I'm basketball.
Imagine
man.
who has the game to back that up.
Huh.
It also does not have a year attributed to it, which I also would think would skew the context of this very much.
For sure. So he's earlier, still active. Jokic is funny, but I don't think he would say because his English. I can't imagine him saying this.
No,
he's
Jokic.
unfortunately too humble. Who else would have said this? Unless it's like a Westbrook sounds weird because he's too serious.
Not a Westbrook.
Who else is funny enough right now?
Take one more swing and then I'll give it to you.
Trying to think who is like media darling, but also funny enough to actually come out with this quote, unless it's like Wemby, which he's a monk, so he doesn't.
That'd be too funny for Wemby probably. This is attributed to Mr. LeBron.
Okay.
And that's why I'm curious how deep into his career was he saying, call me basketball man?
This had to have been over in Miami, I would have guessed, when he was like superhero.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's see here.
It's funny to see him because he is. I get such a different LeBron nowadays. I'm so used to. Well, it's been a while. I've been so used to Laker LeBron, where he's just so very stoic and mostly sad.
Yeah, he hasn't. I don't know. Maybe he's getting it out now more in the podcasts.
He is. He's much funnier on any of the podcasts he hosts or attends.
All right, we'll swing it back to something a little bit more classically motivational for this one. And this one might be, I don't know how famous some of these are in like basketball circles. The strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team.
It's very, very philosophical.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah. Philosophical, huh?
Yeah, I know it's a Phil who said it. Dr. Phil. No.
Yeah, that's Phil Jackson. We'll just go ahead and
Yeah.
fill in the blank for you there.
That makes a whole lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
You
can pocket some of these for your coaching.
I don't know. Like, Phil Jackson is probably like one of the strangest coaches that probably is ever going to exist in the realm of any professional sports. Like, my man is very, very zen. Like the Zen. There's a reason they call him the Zen master himself, but he's different.
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward to me. All right, let's see here. I got another wild one. This is a good one. 1 billion basketballs dribbling simultaneously throughout the galaxy. 1 trillion basketballs being slam dunked through a hoop throughout the cosmos. I can feel every single basketball that has ever existed at my fingertips. I can feel their collective knowledge channeling through my veins. Every jump shot, every rebound and three-pointer, every layup, dunk, and free throw. I am there.
What another. These basketball players be wild out here.
That's why I tell you, it was a fun little job
There
pulling these together.
There are I can only imagine, because everyone has their own media team now. There's probably a bunch of wild stuff out there.
Not an active player. I'll go ahead and filter that down for you.
For sure, not that, because none of the active players. This is either like he's trying to be kind of funny, but he's like, I'm
dead serious.
Yeah, I'm into this, and I don't know which way to take it. This doesn't feel like a Shaq or a Chuck quote. It doesn't feel quite funny enough. Who would this be? Not active. This feels something very early 2000s or 90-ish, if I had to take a guess.
Definitely feels 90s-ish. I should have. I'll do a better job next time of finding
You're good.
years. But no, I'll go ahead and tell you because you've passed him over. This was Chuck.
It is Chuck?
This is attributed to Chuck.
Yeah, so he's kidding. This is for sure Charles Barkley messing around.
Yeah, that's a good one though. Let's see here. Let's do a couple more for this round. We'll do one. Let's see. Yeah, I got a shorter one and then a little longer one. Again, another person we're definitely aware of. Not an active player, and the quote is: "The moment you give up is the moment you let someone else win."
That feels like a Kobe quote almost.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, that feels very. That's
Mamba mentality right there.
Yeah, that feels very Kobe-esque. There's no one out there who wants to kill you more than Kobe Bryant, except for potentially Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan was also he has a little bit of funniness where Kobe is just gonna cut you with a knife.
All right, now here's my curveball. You know, I have to throw at least one of these in there for you. This is not an active player, but it is someone you know. The real many-veiled answer to the question of what goes through a great player's mind as he stands at the center of hostile crowd noise and lines up the free throw that will decide the game might well be nothing at all.
This sounds like an announcer, because there's no one else who's gonna. This is for sure a play-by-play announcer guy or some sort of like color commentator, because no one else is gonna use this.
I'll go ahead and remind you
verbiage.
that non-active player could be very wide category. And I'll give you one more hint. I would not have expected you to know this person before this year.
Before this year. There's so much sports that have happened this year.
But this is not an active player.
No, it is not. Trying to think what has happened this year. Brand new year. What do you mean?
It's
What year are we talking about?
This very year.
Okay. So it's something that's happened very recently-ish.
Indeed.
That has involved this man.
Perhaps within the last 4 episodes.
Oh no. Who the hell is?
This is David Foster Wallace.
Oh my gosh.
When I found a quote from him, you know I had to pull it in there.
This is
And
yeah.
that's David Foster Wallace's voice right there.
I was like,
very wordy.
I was like, this is for sure not a basketball player. This is someone who has a deep education. There's very few basketball players that have that attached to their name.
Good. Well, I'm glad I got my curveball past you, and I've got still a good little batch here for we can do another round on another episode.
I'm curious because you come from, like I said, the baseball and the hockey world. How are you enjoying the wildness of what happens with inside the NBA?
Yeah, no, it's very fun to get to start digging deeper into a new sport and be like, oh, this is a different, because it's like, hockey players are of a certain they're a weird breed of a certain style.
They've been media trained since they got to whatever semi-pro team they.
No, they have zero media training. They're just very shy and introverted guys who don't want to be on camera,
which is weird,
and are very immediately like, what do you want me to say? Okay, I'll say it. Please get me out of here.
Which is so weird. Like,
yeah,
hockey is such a weird sport compared
that's
to the
why
rest.
we only have a handful of very young guys now who are interested enough in doing the media side, and they all get jobs because it's like, okay, you're one of the guys who can talk about it. Please, we need someone.
Someone talk about this.
Yeah.
Now the basketball world's so different because these dudes are used to being
basically the exact opposite.
They get by being who they are, letting.
You have to develop a brand and a personality and a memorable style
from the time you start high school, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. Very good. That was a fun little way to end the episode, I think.
Very much so. With that being said, thank you guys for coming along for another episode of 321 Presents. Of course, here now we're just pulling out of all the bag of tricks, all the games now that we got to have fun with, and who knows what wildness and wackiness each episode will bring. So do stay tuned, and if you have not hit that follow button or subscribe button, or else you might miss the action. That's not as fun. You can't play the games with us.
Indeed.
And of course, if you would, please do give us some comments if you are feeling so much so, or maybe participate along with whatever we're going on, or if you have any feedback, we'd love to hear that on all the social media platforms, on maybe the shorts, on the YouTubes, on any of the podcasting platforms that we are distributed to. Give us some love, And of course, the 5-star rating if you feel so inclined. If not a 5-star rating, put a little comment how we can get that 5-star rating for you. We're willing to work for that.
That's a little bit, for sure.
Yeah. With that, I, of course, have been the man in the little green hat. And look at my little sword, and what is the little...
The ocarina?
Yeah.
Well, in the original, he has a recorder.
Well, why is my man always with the annoying...
It's a different instrument in every game.
The most annoying instruments, though.
Yeah.
Poor Nintendo. Of course, I'm Zach, and along with me has been none other than my co-host, Nick.
Adios.
See you guys next time.